I like this video. We get him out. I don't know. I like a lot of Amazing Atheist videos, but then again, a lot of times I disagree with them. I agree with him more of the time because he's more of a sociological atheist, and Thunderfoot's more of a extremist atheist. I don't know how to say it. But no, I like this video. And I actually stopped the video early when it got to the last part to actually come to my own understanding of, are fundamentals a problem or what is the true problem? And the problem, he was right, it's not fundamentalist. It's fundamentalist thinking and the fact that they have a common base. Because if you're reading the Quran and I'm reading the Quran and, I think the Quran's cool and stuff, and there's next dude next to me that thinks the Quran's cool and stuff, but thinks, you should kill people about that, but he gets it for the Quran, at least that's what his, understanding is, then, it's a little bit easier for him to come up through my base. Hustle and grow, baby. All day, but true talk about that. I came with the analogy before I came up to my own conclusion about this whole understanding. And I guess, that terminology, it's American like apple pie. I was just using pie in my analogy when I first came up with my own understanding about this. And I do that for pretty much everything or anything that I'm actually really trying to understand. But it pretty much is the same concept. I can say, I like pie. I like pie. And then there's a dude next to me that's like, I like pie too. Alright, for sure. I like pie, you like pie. Alright, for sure. We both like pie. And then we have, a 3-week conversation or just get together and just talk about pie for 3 weeks. Just like, American pie, apple pie is great. You know what? I like pumpkin pie too. I like pumpkin pie too. And then we just get in this conversation. So we're related. We already have, a certain connection. And then one day the dude's like, I really like pie, but you know what? I know this guy that has 2 pies. And we can go over there, hit him a couple times, and grab the pies and just run. And we have pie. And then it's just like, well, I like pie, but I'm not really trying to hit anybody. I thought you said you like pie. And then it just goes from there to the point that, the conversation is already connected to pie. So the fact of the outer reaction towards an inner connection of pie doesn't become an inner reaction anymore. It's an outward reaction towards the idea of pie. So the idea of the Quran becomes from being a personal basis of thought process to having the ability to becoming, or having the ability to become the connection with fundamentalists or people that would look and use a Quran as a violent means. And with this, you can't say that the Quran necessarily promotes violence. It's just that the type of understanding that these pie lovers are pushing and peddling, if you want to use that terminology, is to the degree and is to the point to which you have a whole bunch of people who really just like pie. And the people that like pie, they think that pie is the best. But no, I wasn't. I was trying to make a larger point from a smaller point. Didn't work out. Hopefully, you guys are still with me. It's the nature of the pie, the love of the pie. All right, if I can use this in the simple terms, I do it myself. The lowest common denominator is the easiest way to find out if you know what you're talking about. It's not the fact that, both the groups love pie. It's the fact that the connection of both these groups is they love pie. Or the one dude may not even love pie. He just may love punching people and, taking the pie. Punching people may be his ultimate objective, but he's not going to present that argument as such. He's going to say, I love pie. And then that's how we get to the problem with Islam and, a whole bunch of other religions. And I would say it goes to the leadership to a certain degree, to which it does. You can't, I'm just going to say this out there, do your Quran burden. I ain't down with it. I mean, I'm not saying I ain't down with it like I'm hating on it. Actually, I'm going to hate on it a little bit because honestly, you're not going to solve any problems from this. If you do it in, America, cool, you can burn 1,000 Qurans. Shit ain't going to happen. I mean, people may die over it, but there's not going to be too many mind shaking over it. People are in fucking, poor rural countries like, Thunderfoot said, like the Dark Ages level of fucking technology. If Do they even know what a fucking TV is? And if they do know what a TV is, they're just going to see that people are burning something. And maybe to a subconscious level, they may come to the conclusion like, oh man, there's something really happening here. Like, these people are actually, you know, in dissent against my religion, my religious beliefs, or my godly beliefs. Either A, they're going to go to the most natural state, which is fuck these people, or B, they're going to look at it and it's going to eventually fade out because of the fact that they don't have any real connection with the internet or any other connection. So doing this is just showing that we're not letting the terrorists win. We're just not provoking them. We're just, like, you know, poking them. Like, you know what? Yeah, the Quran. Yeah, I'm burning this bitch. Oh, well, you're about religious extremism. Okay, for sure. Well, you know, half the people already are, you know, they're pretty much illiterate over here where I'm at. So, bitch, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen? I got this shit in the microcosm over back here. And you got this macrocosm with the internet. They don't have fucking internet. They don't even have fucking, you know, they don't have toilets, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? At least not working ones. You can't flush that shit, nigga, as a hole. That's what you dealing with. So what the fuck you think is gonna happen, bitch? Nothing. And I mean, it's gonna be true to a certain degree. This is gonna be true until the point that people actually really get up with it. And it's gonna be a long time. The same thing with Christianity. Christianity was peddled at the edge of a fucking sword. You know, a little fish symbol? That was a sign that you put on the outside of your house to let the... Was it Greeks or Romans? Ah, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna make my point. That's the little fish sign, you know, for Christianity. Was a sign you put outside your door to let, you know, the soldiers let you know that you're Christian. So you don't have to come in here and threaten me to go to Christianity at the edge of the blade. That would happen. I mean, the truth about it is Constantine really was just looking to get control over Rome because there's a big clash between the old gods like Zeus, Aphrodite, Poseidon, so on and so forth, and Christianity. And there's a big, you know, uproaring or brewing of, you know, a war coming up. And so what the nigga decided to do was like, fuck it, we're going to Christianity. And he's actually only, I think on his deathbed or near his deathbed, was Constantine actually declared Christian and baptized. So, you know, we really can't say anything about it. But Christianity has evolved to a certain degree. I do agree with that point. I mean, we had how many fucking crusades? And the crusades were just actually had little to do. It had a good amount to do with religious perspective, but it had more to do with the fact that the Vikings were kicking the Holy Roman Empire's fucking ass for fucking centuries. They would just come there, raid the shit, and leave. And so the fucking Holy Roman Empire, you know, tit for tat, built an army. And then one day the Vikings just stopped coming. So you just had a whole bunch of fucking mercenaries, which we called, like, knights or holy knights, just sitting around just fucking, you know, pillaging and shit. Like, what the fuck we're going to do? We're a knight. The only thing we know how to do is fight. So the Pope declared war and get Jerusalem back. Shit didn't work out 3 times. So I'm just giving y'all a little bit of understanding about that shit. But I guess my point is that I don't have a point now. I don't really have a point about that shit. I just want to give y'all a little bit of history about that shit. Because I've thought about a lot about religion and how religion has affected people and their understanding, perception, perspective. But still to this day, it's your leaders. The leaders run the shit. They tell you what to think. They tell you what to believe. And it's the same thing today. I mean, you can look at Obama however you want. You can hate Obama. But Obama's not the leader right now. He's kind of a pawn. I don't want to say a pawn or a puppet because I heard that shit. I never made that argument that Obama was a pawn or a puppet, but I made an argument against it. But look at the Tea Party. Look at Fox News. You want to look about, like, the major leader in with today's society is Fox News. I mean, shit. I'd rather see people burning, like, pictures of fucking Glenn Beck and Sean Hannity than I would see people burning, you know, discs of the Quran. That's just not going to mean anything. Do you think these people in fucking Afghanistan or where the fuck you're trying to get the message to really give a fuck about you burning a disc like called the Quran? Do you think they have fucking CD players? Do you think they have TV? Most likely not. If they do, the message is not going to get through. Because of the fact that if you look at the majority of people, or if you look at the people who actually broadcast this shit, It's just not going to get through because of the fact it's anti-them. It's anti their whole establishment. And the last thing the establishment is going to do, besides to get people rallied up, is going to present something that says something against their establishment. Same thing with American fucking government. No way in fucking hell the American government will ever produce anything or ever put anything on TV that degrades the American government. They may have the two political parties, but they're still two political parties. So there's never going to be any degradation. Never going to see a third party talking about all the fucking dirty laundry that both parties have to actually bring that shit to the surface. That shit would never fly. And trust me, there's guaranteed dirty laundry on both sides, and it's the same laundry once you really get down to it. But that shit will never get presented to us because of the fact that no conscious, and our system is conscious to a certain degree. No conscious system of government would ever allow that shit to happen. Think of it. This video is going long. I wanted to make it shorter, but I'm just going to hit this last point. Think if you're at a high school and every teacher that you knew was doing something fucked up, but they didn't bring it to the class. You know, they never brought it to the school, but they were doing some fucked up shit. And the whole institution was down with this. The whole institution knew it. Do you think while you're in high school that, you know, fucking some superintendent is going to come up and say, yeah, these people are doing some really fucked up shit, but here it is. And I'm going to say that shit to the students? What are the students going to do? A, they can revolt and just leave the school, and then shit would have to fucking change, which is most likely not going to happen. Or B, their heads would explode. And wow, that was a really, really, really bad analogy. It's bad. I'm just saying that if you're in a position of power, if you have the number one thing that any institution of government is supposed to do is to govern better. And when I say that, to manipulate, like, you know, we have, I'm going to too many fucking tangents. The system of government only needs about 65% of the population to fall in line with them to actually be able to govern. But that government will never do anything to lapse its grasp on the 65 that they have. Because if they don't have that 65%, if you had 75% of the people in America today just look at cops like, fuck you, I am not going to shit. Like, no juries, no fucking tickets. Like, I'm not paying none of this shit. Shit wouldn't work. It really would not work. Our government would not work without the compliance of the people. And I can go into a whole spiel about why our fucking United States is so compliant, but I have to go into racism, fucking religion, and about 20 different other fucking issues. But at the basic nature, our government will never give up power that it has. It won't. It's a natural system to which humans have created, but it's a self-perpetuating system to which does not have that within its logic. So I guess my main point after all of this fucking talking, which has been a lot, is that no government within its right mind would ever put anything out there to degrade its own government. Like, I mean, if I made a video just talking shit about me, that's one thing. But if I had, like, you know, 40,000 fucking viewers and they were all paying me, so on and so forth, and if I produce something that caused everybody to stop paying me, no way in hell would I do that because of the fact that it's stopping my revenue from A. B is going to hurt my credibility, and C is just going to fuck over all the fucking people's perceptions of me. So no way any conscious government would ever put anything out there that would degrade what they are peddling, or not peddling, pushing. I'll just say pushing, like a drug. There's another word for it, but you know, I got the ADD fuck on my ass, so fuck it. Anyways, yeah, you can burn the Korans, but I don't think it's gonna have too big of an impact. If you saw that shit over in fucking like Islamic nations, that shit would have a bigger impact because of the fact that I like pie. Fuck this pie. You know what? I don't like you and what you're doing. I gotta hate this pie because I don't like what you're doing. Then you get people on your side. But until that, you know, a person that doesn't like pie, I like pizza, man. Fuck this pie. I'm gonna throw it in your face. It's a joke. If you pick up what I'm putting down. Alright, deuces. Hopefully you did. That's a pretty good video. Fuck yeah. Back on my motherfucking grind. For however long. Alright, deuces.